Well, let's see how this turns out. What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the Uverse? Whoa, what are we doing out here? It looks all dark in... Yeah, that's right. We are out night wheeling. One of the local Jeep groups had a member post up. They were gonna go hit Rainbow Falls for a night run. Rainbow Falls is kind of a moderate trail system just along Deckers Road. Just about, about 10 miles southeast of Horsepower Hill. If you don't know what Horsepower Hill is, check that I button in the top right corner and you will get introduced to what Horsepower Hill means on a bike. I kind of wanted to just get some thoughts down on tape. Thoughts of our own mortality. Thoughts of why I ride, why I Jeep, why I wheel, how I live, why I live the way that I live. This is all coming about because one of the groups that I belong to, that I'm actually an admin of, we lost another rider today. And I say another like it happens a lot. This is our second fatality in the group, and the other one was almost exactly 2 years ago. And while every death is tragic, not all lives, how do I say it? Somebody's camping up here. Sorry, guys. Lighten up your campsite late at night. Really sucks up here because they can't have a forest fire, or they can't have forest fires. That really sucks that you can't have forest fires right now. Yeah, dumbass. You can't have campfires right now, which is kind of lame, but understandable because this whole state has tried to burn down once already this summer. Let's not try again. But back to the mortality question, and hopefully swing around and catch yeah, there we go. Get some of Stevie's rock lights on Gigi. I guess I'll just go about this topic by trying to talk about it from my point of view. My point of view on life is that life is worth lived when you're doing things that you love and that move your soul. And I've been blessed in my life. Starting as a child, I found things that spoke to my very soul. My first big love was skiing. I absolutely loved skiing. Yes, as you can tell by my logo, I was born in 1974, and when I started skiing, we had experimented with slalom water skis, using those as kind of like a hybrid, or the first snowboards, but we definitely did not invent snowboarding. That was Jake Burton, and that happened in 1986 was when I found snowboarding, and I rode a Burton Woody for the first time. Giggity giggity. And I absolutely loved it, even though the old Burton Woodies didn't have a traditional P-Tex base. They did not have edges, metal edges like skis do. They had a fin, almost like a wakeboard or a surfboard. And the thought was that just like a wakeboard or a surfboard, that's how you would control the board. It didn't work very well, but that was definitely my second passion, and snowboarding took over, and I am now officially a knuckle dragger and very proud of it. My second passion I actually started doing before I discovered skiing, but skiing was an instant passion. I absolutely loved it for multiple reasons. not just the act of skiing, but it was also time up in the mountains with my dad, spending time on the lifts, singing and kicking up our skis and dancing and just having a great time. And it was phenomenal times and great times with my dad, and they'll always be very fond memories. So that's why skiing took an instant passion for me, and it moved my soul. But my second one was actually soccer. And I started playing soccer when I was 4 years old. And, you know, it's just the rec league kind of thing. Just groups of kids running around on grass, chasing a ball, and occasionally shooting it into a net-shaped object. And it didn't become a passion of mine until, these are interesting ruts, until I joined a competitive soccer team and we started playing at a really high level, and I started going to camps and studying and practicing and learned that I had a real talent for it, and it became a huge passion of mine. And it was something that I'd run home from school, and we lived right across the street from a soccer field. My dad did. So I'd run home from school, grab the soccer ball, and if I didn't already have it with me, because there was 3 or 4 years there where I literally had a soccer ball with me at all times, except when I was in the shower, and then it was in the bathroom with me. It just wasn't in the shower with me. But yeah, I'd run across to the soccer field, and instead of doing homework or any of my chores or anything like that, I'd try to squeeze in 2-3 hours of practice and kicking the ball around before my parents got home, before my dad got home, or my stepmom at the time when I was at my dad's house. So that was my second passion. And then when I was 8 years old, my dad got me my XR80, and I found my passion on 2 wheels. And it truly moved my soul. Riding dirt was just awesome, and I absolutely loved it. And it was a freedom, and it's hard to express in words, but it literally it felt like it moved my soul. It was everything. I just wanted to ride, and it didn't matter where I was riding, it was that I was riding. And that all went away, you know, as I got older and went to college and blah, blah, blah. But it was always a passion of mine and always something that I loved. And then throughout my life, you know, college and marriage, I didn't really find another true passion until my daughter was born. And that's really easy to say, but it's true. You know, being a father moved my soul. It was something that I absolutely loved doing. I loved being. It felt natural, and even in the hardest of times, it was something that I absolutely loved every second of it. Even in the most trying of times, I loved every second of it. And then when my daughter turned 4 years old, and 4.5, she's 4.5, 5 years old, because I was fighting with her mother about the timing of introducing her to my third passion, which was snowboarding. And it had taken over skiing, and you know, skiing will always have a special place in my heart, but snowboarding was my real passion and something I absolutely loved all through college, and it was the only thing that kept me sane through college. So when my daughter turned 4.5, 5 years old, got her started on snowboarding and shared that passion with her, and absolutely loved it. And then that grew. We met Steve and his daughter Miranda, and we're going camping, and Miranda had a little 50cc 2-stroke quad that Temple actually absolutely loved playing on. So we got Temple a quad, and I got a quad, and we started playing off-road, and so that way we had something that we could do as a father-daughter team during the summer. And then we had knuckle dragon that we did as a father-daughter team during the winter, and life was really, really good. And then when she turned 15, she had just outgrown her last quad. We were looking at getting her a bigger size, and she came up to me and said, "Dad, instead of getting a quad, would you be okay with us getting a street bike?" And my instant response was, yeah. I had ridden a little bit when I was in high school, and absolutely loved it. I'd ridden track and a buddy's bike, and just had a lot of fun with it. So we went out and got her a street bike, traded in her, or sold her quad, and bought her a street bike, sold my quad, and got me a street bike, and that was Duchess in the beginning of this channel. So it was really cool, and that passion got reignited and got transformed from my passion that was on dirt into my passion for riding on the street, and it just really got reinforced. And riding on the street, whether it's an aggressive ride or just a scenic ride, when I'm out on two wheels, it speaks to my soul. My focus is 100% on the ride. My focus is 100% on the road and where I am, and riding safe and in control, and still having fun and pushing my limits and all of that stuff. But I feel that it really speaks to me, and it's one of the few experiences left in my life where I can literally make my soul laugh, and it's just the coolest thing. So I'll never stop riding, no matter how many people I know tragically die or lose their lives while riding. It doesn't affect my passion. And now I've also got this, crawling, whether at night or during the day, and I absolutely love it. It's another one of those things where I can get out in nature, experience nature, have a lot of fun, and it speaks to my soul. And there goes my book. That's a pretty steep descent. So I guess that kind of explains my stance on life, and what I was trying to put into words, far shorter amount of words, earlier when I was talking about a life lived. A life not lived is not worth living, in my opinion. And if you're not out exploring your passions and pursuing your passions and doing things that make you happy and move your soul and progress your spirit, then what are you doing? That's why we're here. We're here to push the boundaries. We're here to have fun. This is Little Moab. This is pretty cool, actually. Did I just get reception? Oh, no. My watch has determined that I'm cycling. That's funny. So that straight ahead of us is Little Moab. Don't know if you can see it. But anywho, let's turn on some lights. Let's turn this camera around. So where was I? Sorry, just tackled Little Moab. Completely forgot to video record it. I know if it didn't happen on camera, it didn't happen. Where was I? I am still reflective. I'm still shook up. That's why my mind's not clicking. I'm really reflective right now, but it's not going to change who I am and what I do. I am a rider. It's part of my soul. It's part of who I am. Being on two wheels is more than just an exercise. It's more than a hobby. It's more than an activity. Just like being out here and crawling and exploring the Colorado wilderness is more than an activity, a hobby. This is this is who I am. This is who I want to be. This is who I love. And this is where I love to be and what I love to do. And I will keep doing it. And if something tragic were to happen and a deer runs out in the middle of the road and ends my voyage on this planet earlier than what everybody thinks it should be, know that I lived my life. I loved my life. I love every day of my life. I love pursuing my passions. I love living. I just love. I'm just a happy person, and I think it's much better to live 45, 46, 47 years. I'm only at 46 right now. On this planet, pursuing passions and feeling an enriched and fulfilled soul. I think that's a far better life to live than 96 years and always being afraid to go out and live. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think on this. I'm gonna have to think on this topic. I'm not gonna have to think on my resolve to continue doing my passions, because that is resolute. But I may re-record this in the future. But I wanted to get my thoughts down now while they're fresh, while they're sentient, while they're burbling. That's a bad word. But yeah, while they're stewing in my head and fresh, I wanted to get them down on tape. But anyway, not to be too somber, because a life lived is a life worth living. And I do live my mantra to try to keep that smile on my face, and I try to keep that smile in my heart, and I try to keep my soul engaged and feeling fulfilled, and I definitely try to keep that shiny side up and that rubber side down. And I will see you guys out in the canyons or up in the hills on the trails. But until the next time, guys, you know, I love each and every one of you guys. Keep your life lived. Peace.